Hey, how's it going everyone? This is K Collections, and today I have another review for you guys today. This is Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul and McFarlane Toy. Here's the front of the box, clear display right there. Here's just the side. Here's the back. Here's the other side, very simplistic here. Top, really nothing, and bottom. So here's Ken Kaneki out of the box. Very, very affordable figure right here. I paid about $20 on Amazon, so relatively low price point, and it's very detailed. I also switched his alternate head where he's wearing the mask. So in terms of accessories, you do get 4 Kagune. They're relatively the same, so there's really no difference between them. And in order to put this onto the figure, you just peg this onto his back. Really simple. So here's just a close-up of the Kagune. Very detailed. You can actually see the scales, and they're all sculpted on. Also, it does has this rubber-like texture to it. You can also pose it however you like. Simply, you can just bend it and pose it whichever direction you like. Just don't, of course, rotate it or twist it. You could damage it. As far as paintwork goes, very beautiful. I love how they have these nice black shading coloring at the ends, as well as this streak of line in the center. You can also clearly see some other black shading towards the center, on individual scales. Of course, this does come with a base. You have the Tokyo Ghoul title in the center right here. And one thing I really love about this base is that this is actually sculpted texture on the base. And of course, here's the 2 pegs where you will peg the figure onto this base. Other than that, it's pretty simplistic. The coloring is just plain black. And lastly, he does come with 2 interchangeable head, one without the mask, and of course one with the mask. So let's first talk about the head without the mask. Honestly, it doesn't really look like Ken Kaneki. Paintwork wise, it is a little sloppy towards the hair. Sculpt work wise, for the hair, it's great. I love how they have detailed sculpt work for the hairlines. You can see some individual strand of hair, so that's perfect right there. Paintwork wise, they have a mixture of white, some shades of blue, as well as gray mixed into the hair, which adds great separation of color for the hair, so it's not just one solid paintwork. But it is a little sloppy. You could clearly tell a lot of paint splashes all over the back, and only the front looks okay, but more so the back. For the eyes, paintwork is okay. The human eye doesn't really look that great. It does have this gray coloring. For the ghoul eye, it does look a little bit more better. Now for the mask alternative head, it looks a lot better. The head sculpt is different, especially for the hair. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the 2. For the hair sculpt, you can see the one without the mask, the hair is kind of being blown towards the left. And for this, the hair is just straight down. So taking a closer look at the mask, my only complaint is I wish they used silver painting for this neck piece right here. I do believe it was silver. It's been a while since I saw the anime. And I wish they used silver for the gray mouthpiece right there. It's supposed to be a zipper. Having silver will look a lot better. The eye patch right here looks beautiful. So the paintwork for the eyes is one of the best selling points for this figure. Very, very detailed in terms of paintwork. You can clearly see some red lining inside the eye, and of course some black lining outside. Moving on to the body. These straps on his chest are made of soft plastic. It's also on the back as well. And they do have this nice black glossy finish to it. One thing that I really love about this figure is the sculpt work that was put in onto the shirt itself. You see right here, all these wrinkles and curves all around the clothing, even down towards the pants. And especially the back portion where the Kagune comes out from his back. These are all sculpted and painted nicely as well. Just so you guys know, the coloring for the Kagune and the paintwork for his this portion right here is a bit different. The Kagune is a little bit more brighter, so there is a lack of color consistency there. Another thing is that this symbol right here on his sleeve is sculpted. It's not just painted, so that's a nice touch right there. Now moving on to his hands, his fingernails are painted with a black coloring. I do love the glossy finish for his sleeve right there. Right here it does have some paint issues where the black bled onto the gray. Now moving on to the lower portion of this figure, right here is the same glossy finish as the sleeve, so there is consistency in terms of paintwork right there. Again, I already mentioned I love the sculpt work for the pants. Lots of wrinkles. That's a lot of detailing. Lastly, moving down to his shoe, very simple. There's really not much to it. You see this little zigzag right here, it is sculpted, and decent coloring of the gray. There is some black shading on it. I don't know if that's just because the black bled onto it or they purposely meant to shade that. Alright, now for articulation, this figure does have some degree of articulation. His head could rotate all the way around. he can't really look up or down. For his arm, he could go up about that high and about that low. You could also rotate this 360 degrees. So good articulation right there. There is a swivel for his forearm right there. And his wrist has no articulation whatsoever. All you can really do is move his arm. Articulation for this side as well. Again, you could rotate it all the way around. There is a swivel on his elbow right there. And same thing with the other side. You can't really turn his wrist whatsoever. Articulation for the waist, you could only rotate his body 360 degrees. So good rotation right there. You can't make him bend up or go down. There's thigh swivel for both legs. So again, you can rotate this. Just be aware that if you do rotate the thigh, you will misalign the wrinkles on his clothing, so it may look a little ugly. And the final articulation is swivel on the knee for both sides. So my final thoughts on this figure, it's an excellent figure, aside from a lot of the paint issues, especially on the hair. And I assume if you're getting this figure, you are using his mask, because the other head sculpt, honestly, it doesn't even look like Ken Kaneki. But the mask looks great. Another great highlight is the Kagune. The detailing on it is excellent, great shading, great paint work, and also the sculpt work for his clothing. A lot of wrinkles, a lot of detailing put into this figure. I also forgot to mention he does stand about 6 inches tall with the base, so probably 5 inches without the base. And the Kagune is actually very long. The length for it is about 7.5 inches last I checked. And overall, I definitely recommend it. For 20 bucks, definitely worth it if you're a huge fan of Tokyo Ghoul. And as always guys, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this was helpful a little bit. If you like what you see here, hit the like button. I always love the support. And subscribe to my channel as I will do a lot more reviews. Thank you for everything guys. Have an awesome day.